Hey everybody, this is Mike Jones from the Connection Games and Comics with round 1 from my Friday Night Magic booster draft from May 17th, 2013 at the Connection Games and Comics in Vancouver, BC. We'll get right into it here in a second. My first round opponent is Chris. He was in seat 7, I was in seat 3, so we're pretty far apart, so could be sharing colors. Guess I'll find out in a second here. So I believe that I win the dice roll. And opt to play first. Take a look at my first 7. And I get a mountain, Zerta Swine, another mountain, nothing I can cast. I think that's a doorkeeper there, and Nivic Skilled Mage. So throw that one back. Check to see what my first card would have been. It would have been an island. I could have kept it. Oh well, should never look. Anyway, so shuffle up, draw 6. This is a little bit better. I have an island and a Gruul Guildgate there, I believe. And drew the Metropolis Sprite, the 1/2 flyer. So play the Guildgate, say go. He plays a forest, says go. Plays a plains. And he's going to drop a Gatekeeper Vine. Gonna go get himself a basic land, I believe. Yeah, mountain, puts that in his hand. Shuffles, says go. He wants to shuffle some more, so take my turn. Cast out the Metropolis Sprite, since I can get some damage in there, and decide not to cut his deck. He draws off the top of my deck. Whoops! It's a friendly match. He moves his deck back so he doesn't do that again. And draws his card for the turn. I don't think him knowing what the top card of my deck is going to give him any huge advantage on turn 3 here. So he's got 3 mana. He plays a Golgari Key Rune. That's the one that turns into a 2/2 Death Touch creature for a black and a green. And it makes black and green mana. I draw Homing Lightning. So I'm going to swing with the Sprite here. No pumps. He takes 1 damage. So 19. And I'm going to cast out the Nivic Cyclops. That's the 1/4 that whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell turns into a 4/4 that can attack as though it didn't have Defender. It does have Defender though right now. Still not much threatening on his side of the board right now. He's got 4 mana available, 5 mana available, so he's got green, white, black, and red. The only thing I haven't seen so far is blue, which turns out he has. So he's going to tap 4 here and drop. Take a look at my doorkeeper there. Battering Krasis. So he only taps 3 mana for Battering Krasis. That's the 2/1 Trample Evolve creature. Not too scary at this point. So I draw another island. Things are looking pretty good. I've got Homing Lightning mana up. I'm going to swing with the Sprite. I choose not to pump it. That puts him down to 18. Because he can't block my flyer. And I think I'm going to throw down, that's a Rune Wing, a 2/2 flyer. Whenever he dies, draw a card. So I need to get the Air Force going here. I can block his Battering Crisis right now quite profitably. Just thinking. 3 mana, he plays an Azorius Keyrune. So now he's got all 5 colors. Oh, that's the Cluestone. Sorry, not a Keyrune. Azorius Cluestone. He's looking at his decks, doesn't have a good option. Taps 3, 4 mana. Does he? No, I think he decides against it. And he just passes the turn back. Could he have there? Should probably have been thinking that through. Alright, so I draw my Nivic Skilled Mage. That's the one for blue, red, and 1. I can loot, draw a card, discard a card. Or for 4 mana, I can copy an instant or sorcery spell. So I'll need 8 mana if I want to come my Homing Lightning. But I just swing for 3 in the air, the Rune Wing, and the Metropolis Sprite. That puts him to 15. And cast out my Doorkeeper and my Nivix Guildmage. Overextending a little bit here, considering I really don't need all of that against him, and I'm really not going to start. Well, maybe I think I'm going to start milling him here, but you know, if I draw another land, I need 2 more lands. I guess I've only got 4 up. I could have cast the Cyclops and then milled him for 3, which would be decent. Here he plays. What is that? Oh, that's the Rot Farm skeleton. That's the 4/1 that you can dredge. Well, not dredge. I guess you take the top 4 cards of your library, put them into your yard, and you can get them back from your graveyard. I think so. Yeah, draw another land. Now I've got 2 mountains, 2 islands, and a Gruul Guild Gate. Homing Lightning and another Nivix Cyclops in my hand. Gonna go in with the flyers again. And pump that flyer there before I do damage, so I hit him for 4. Puts him to 11, I'm still at 20. I can take the swing back from that skeleton pretty easily if I need to. Here I'm thinking I'm going to make him, so he's going to animate his Kieran, so it's a 2/2 creature with Death Touch. And I'm thinking, if he attacks with the Rot Farm, I'm going to kill it with the Homing Lightning. And then mill, when he starts to mill himself to get it back, I can mill him some more. Maybe I'm going to get the mill going here with the Doorkeeper out there. Make a very bad trade here, in my opinion. Oh no, I don't actually end up making. I don't know if this is the right play or not. Love to hear your feedback if I made the right play here or not. Turns out it doesn't matter too much, I guess. So I take out the skeleton with the Homing Lightning. And take 2, so that puts me at 18. Passes the turn back. And I draw a Simic Guild Gate. Put that into play tapped. Let's get in there with my flyers. Bump it again. Another 4 damage, I should put him to 7. And I'll drop the other. It's going to animate the key, or the, no? White, white, black, black. Oh, and 5 mana, here we go. Debt to the Deathless. So I lose 10, he gains 10. That was a pretty big swing. So he's back up to 17, I'm down to 8. That's the one. Black, black, white, white. Pay X. Opponent loses 2 times X, you gain 2 times X life. I think that's the Flux Charger that I just drew there. Still, I got a fairly comfortable board state here, so I'm not super worried at this point. Let's get in there with my flyers again. I will pump my wing, so that takes him down to 13. And drop the Flux Charger. That's the 1/5 flyer. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, you can switch its power and toughness. So he's just a good 1/5, not a defender, but he has evasion and he can be a 5/1 flyer. Assuming I draw an instant or sorcery spell, which I have lots of in the deck, so should be a decent chance of doing that. So he's got the Clue Stone in there, and the Key Rune. He's set up. What has he got there? blue, black, and 7. Right, mind grind for 7. Should have cut all this out for you, sorry folks, but here we go. I'm going to mill most of my deck, I think, here, until I find 7 lands. This was a bit worrying. Sleeves are a little bit difficult to deal with. There goes my explosive impact. In my piff fight. Alright, so got a good chunk of my deck there. That's my turn. Here I get a mountain. After milling off 7 lands, the first card I draw is a mountain. Sort of indicative of how my night's going to go here, I think. Anyway, so I loot off of the Guild Mage, toss that. Now I don't have enough mana to cast the swine, but although I can Blood Rush it. Not productively this turn, I don't think. I was really hoping to get an instant or sorcery to turn my Flux Charger on and be able to swing with my 2 Cyclopses. That would have been game right there, I think. Right? Anyway, just swing for 2, 3, 4, 5, because I'm going to pump the Metropolis Sprite here. He's tapped out, so I guess I'm thinking, do I want a Blood Rush? No, just do the pump. That puts him down to 8. So it's 8 up, so I've recovered some of the ground I lost to the Deathless. He's got a lot of mana over there. Thinks for a while. I think he ends up just tap, sack, let's draw another card, and dig, see if I can find something to get me out of this. I have still in my hand, I don't even remember what I've got in my hand now. Oh, the Zertos swine that I just drew off the loot there. Okay, so he's going to animate his Keyrune again, swing in. I make a terrible trade here. Should have just taken the 2. Well, I guess I'm worried that he's got something that can hit me, Blood Rush, because he's playing all those colors. Like a Scorch Walker or something. He could have taken me down to 1, and that's a little bit of a dangerous place to be. So, but I block with, instead of blocking with one of my or even both of my Cyclopses, I stick my Guild Mage in front of it, which would have allowed me to loot for stuff and just 1, but it doesn't really matter too much, I guess. I swing with the Air Force, and it's going to be 5, and I can, or 4, and I can Blood Rush the swine onto something. He can't block it, so game 1 goes to me. Blood Rush onto the Flux Charger. Hit for 9, takes him to -1. Alright, so we go into sideboarding here in a second, as soon as he does the math there. And I'm worried, okay, he's got those Mind Grind and the Debt to the Deathless, so I want another counterspell, and his creature quality didn't look that high, so I'm thinking Chemist's Trick's going to be a more efficient way to sort of wipe his board. So here's what I sideboarded. I took out the Pit Fight and the Trader's Instinct, put in the Mind Static and the Chemist's Instinct, or Chemist's Trick. Anyway, cut out the Shuffling. Here we go, draw my 7. He's going to obviously play first, I think. And I get a mountain, an island, and I can't even see what that is. I guess we'll find, oh, it looks like my Nivix Guild Mage is there. So I got some plays. Got a couple of 3-drops there, it looks like, too. There we go, draw a land, I'm all good. Mountain, go. He drops Prophetic Prism, draws himself a card. So he can now make any color mana. I draw a Druid Guild Gate, but I want to play out something, so I drop. Right, and there goes my Guild Mage. Oh, I got Active Treason. Is it Cluestone? think that's a Rune Wing. Or maybe it's a Murmuring Phantasm. I guess I'll see in a second here. He drops the Battering Crisis again. Another land, that's not terrible. I'm going to drop the Cruel Guildgate. A2, yeah, so there must be a Murmuring Phantasm there. And I should have gone in with the Guildmage here. I would have gladly made that trade. He's not going to get through my 0-5 Defender anytime soon, so I don't know why I don't value the Guildmage higher, but you really want to get that trampling evolve creature off the board as early as you possibly can. You don't want to let it get big. So that's probably minor play mistake. Don't know what number that is. So here we go, blue, green, colorless for Beetleform Mage. Card is just good. That evolves his Crisis, so now his Crisis is a 3-2. Tap, draw, and I get the Mind Static that I sideboarded into. I'm just questioning whether or not, I won the first game, maybe I should just left it playable. And I'll drop that's the Flux Charger, that's what that was, okay. So that's the 1/5 flyer that I can switch its power and toughness. And he's gonna cast 3 mana Lobber Crew. That evolves his Battering Crisis again, so now it's got 2 counters on it, so it's a 4/3. Again, should have gone in there, maybe he would have made the trade. Doubt it. Anyway, at least I would have been 2 more damage ahead. And I get a Mugging there. And I have a land. So what's the play here, Mike? So 3 mana to play Active Treason. Is that what I'm gonna do? I think so. I think I steal his Battering Crisis here. Seems like that would be kind of fun. Yeah. My shiny Active Treason. Get his Battering Crisis. Mess up the counters on it. I switch the power and toughness on my Flux Charger, so now I have a 5/1 flyer and a 4/3 trampler. And I swing with those 2 guys, so 9 damage coming at him. He chooses not to block, I believe. So yeah, that takes him down to 11, and I'm still at 20. And second main phase, I'm gonna cast nothing. Last turn back, he takes his guy back. I have 2 mana available here. So he's casting for 5 mana. No, yes, maybe. Okay, so he hits me for 1 first. Hits me 19. And he casts. That's the 5 mana 4/4. When it comes into play, detain everything your opponent controls with casting cost 3 or converted mana cost 3 or less, I believe. 4 or less. So it detains my whole team. So I can't attack or block or activate abilities. So he's going to hit me for, because that evolved his Crisis as well. And then he Lobber Crews me again. So he hits me for 9. 8. 5, 6, 7, yeah, 8. Ties the game up. And I think it's, so my guys are detained here. Got Mind Static in hand in case he tries to cast something. Not attacking it. I've got Mugging in hand, and I don't see the combo with the Nivix Guildmage where I could have done Mugging and copy Mugging do 4 damage to his batter increases, although I couldn't do it on this turn because my guy's detained. I should have waited for him to either play something or attack next turn, but no, I just mugging the Beetle Form Mage because he doesn't have the mana to make it a 4/4. A 4/4 flyer I could have dealt with because I had the 1/5 flyer on my side of the field, and also had, well, a Murmuring Phantasm's not going to block the flyer, but I could take a lot of Lava Crew Pings. Anyway, I leave Mind Static mana up. He's counting his mana, that's always a bad sign. Alright. Gate Creeper Vine, that's fine. We'll find a land. Gets himself an island. He's going to shuffle in a minute. Plays his land for the turn. Pings me for 1. Takes me down to 10. And he's going to play... Oh, I don't even know what that is. I Mind Static it. I think it was a Flux Charger of his own. After a little bit of deliberation, we realized, yeah, that does actually untap the Lava Crew. So he untaps that. He's looking at his board there. He's got a 5/4 trample creature. Might as well. I don't have 4 damage on my side of the board, so I'm not going to kill it. The worst I can do is stick something underneath it. So no blocks. I go down to 5. Untap on my turn. Draw a Frilled Oculus. And make another interesting choice here. So drop the Frilled Oculus, I think. Nope, Zertos Swine. Better play. That can at least do a trade for that Battering Crisis, even if he evolves it one more time. I'll have enough. So I fly over for 1 in the air. Puts him down to 10. He hits me for 1, I'm down to 4. And we're coming up on major play mistake number 1, I think. Centaur Healer, that puts him back to 13. No, I got a few more turns before I screw it up completely. 3 mana, he casts the Azorius Cluestone. Blue-white, he can sack it. He's looking at his attacks, doesn't see anything profitable, so he passes the turn back. And draw another land, which is not terrible. So now I can drop the Cluestone and my Frilled Oculus. And have enough mana to pump my Frilled Oculus if I need to. So make him into a 3/5. I fly over for 1 in the air. I puts him to 12. In turn, he puts me down to 3. I have to deal with that Lava Crew really soon. He draws something. He's going to tap, was that 4 mana, and Last Thoughts to draw another card, ciphering it onto the 4/4. I gladly make that trade. That's me. But he's just gonna look at it. He's got me down to 3 life. There's no real reason to push things here. He's got me in 2 turns. Then he just drops the Golgari Keyrune. So he's got gobs and gobs of mana on his side. So I draw Rubble Belt Maka, which is not an instant or sorcery. So it isn't going to change my flyer into the 5/1 I was hoping it would. Sack the clue stone, draw. Explosive impact. Huzzah! Something that can deal with the lava crew. If you see it. That's there. A little bit of foreshadowing. Alright, so I get in there for 1. That puts him down to 11. And he forgets to ping me, I think here. I'm debating whether I'm going to play the Mac out just as a 3-3. No, he gets me. He puts me at 2. So he's still looking at it. He's going, I got you at 2. I hit you at the end of your turn. If you let me untap one more time, you win. So there's no real reason for him to put some pressure on here. But he animates his key rune anyway. Or no, sorry, he sacks the clue stone, draws a card. And then he's looking at it, thinking about it. Now he animates the key rune. He's gonna swing in with it. Why not? Force me to lose something. Stick my Philoculus underneath it, or a card that might win me the game. Oh, I'll throw the card that might win me the game under it. Okay, that sounds reasonable. That was not a major play mistake. That's another minor one. You'd seen me do that before, so pretty good guess I was going to do that. I should have just stuck the Philoculus and pumped it, but whatever. Who knows? Maybe that wasn't so bad. Alright, so I draw the Cyclops here, but I got 6 mana. If I had drawn a land here, I could have killed him. This is what I'm thinking. Explosive impact to the face, switched my flux charge, fly over for 5, or 5 to the face, so that would have hit 10, and I could have blood rushed the Rubble Belt Maca onto it, and that would have been game if I had drawn a land. Instead, I should have shot the Lobber Crew, killing it. He still would have got me down to 1. I could have flung in the air for 5, still put him down to 6, and so then he just pings me twice with the Lobber Crew, and so we go on to game 3. But if I had killed the Lobber Crew there, maybe I could have pulled it out. I don't know. It was not looking good. His side of the board was looking pretty beefy. He wasn't being super aggressive with it, but it was only a matter of time. With me at 1 life, I don't know how long it lasts. So anyway, so I don't have to mulligan his hand. Start off with the Guildgate, untaps I go. So one major play mistake there, because I was on a bit impatient. If I had just taken out the Lobber Crew, it would have gotten him down to 6 life, and then I could have just started eking away at him, and it would have been a much closer game at least. I would have been at 1 life for a while. You know, a bit of a slow start for me. I think the first creature I got there is Rubble Belt Maca, so, and he starts out with the trampling, or the battering crisis, the 2/1 evolved trampler. I got lots of land this time. So let's just throw down the Cyclops first. Don't know why I didn't want to put down the crisis there, or the Rubble Belt Maca. 3/3 would have pounded into whatever he had. Pretty effective, but anyway, let's see, he's got 4 mana, and it's Last Thoughts, draw a card. Seems fine. Not going to attack. I get Philoculus. Alright, so drop down another mountain. I have 5 mana available. I have an active Treason, which I'm going to cast here. I will steal that Battering Crisis. It turns on my Cyclops, so now I have a 4/1 or 4/4 Cyclops and a 2/1 Battering Crisis. So I'm going to swing for 6, trigger Last Thoughts, so I can draw a card. I believe that's the way that works. That's how we played it anyway. Because it's ciphered on there, it's not something he controls. It's an ability the creature has. And I throw down the Philoculus. Yeah, was that the Frill Locket? Yeah, I think so. Because that'll trade with it right now, unless he evolves it. The Chain Walker would not have blocked effectively. Either would have been a 3-2 the can't block, or a 2 or a 1. Is it 3-2 or is it a 2-1 or a 1-2? I can't remember now. Alright, play on my land. Got lots of lands. So I got a Homing Lightning in hand, the Roveville Maka. Looks like a Murmuring Phantasm and a Gorehouse Chainwalker. So I'm gonna Homing Lightning. His Battering increases now, which turns on my Cyclops. So now I will swing for 4, and I'll pump the Frill Oculus for 4, 5, 6, 7, plus him to 7. This game is going pretty good so far. I'm pretty happy. So he's gonna put a card which I think is actually pretty terrible. Sinister Possession on my Nivix Cyclops, which I don't really understand. I'm at 20 life. I'm not gonna not block or not attack with that creature if I can draw. If I drew an instant or sorcery spell here, it's game, but I don't. I get a Gruul Guildgate. And here comes Colossal Play Mistake number 2. Both the previous Play Mistake and this one probably cost me the game's Telegraph. Alright, so I pump him up, do 3 damage, take him down to 4, and proceed to overcommit to the board. When he's got a mitt full of cards, a lot of mana, and he hasn't been playing anything. I'm like, why is he doing that? I don't even think about it. So, drop the Gorehouse Chainwalker, unleash him, drop my Murmuring Phantasms, whatever he casts. He's not going to damage me. He draws a card, plays it with a land. I'm hoping he's just got a mitt full of land. He types white, blue, or white, blue, black. I don't know. Supreme Verdict. Ah! I got one creature in hand. I'm going, okay, I can still do this. But that was huge. There was no reason at all for me to dump. Certainly the Murmuring Phantasm didn't have to go down. It's not going to do anything on the board. So he drops a Lava Crew after he plays the Verdict. You know, the Gorehouse Chainwalker, maybe you can make an argument because that gives me the win the next turn instead of 2 turns from there. I drew an island. That's not going to help me very much. So then he drops what's he going to put down here? Red, green, the Zertod Druid, right? So now he's got 2 pingers on the board. He should be hitting me for 1 a turn, or 2 a turn. I draw another mountain. Why is it after a Supreme Verdict? I always seem to draw lands. Alright, so he pings me for 1. I'm at 19. He gets some damage in. It's not going to be a complete sweep. And then he draws. So I'm not swinging into the Lava Crew. I guess I could have bluffed. But he's going to block anyway because he's got 4 life. He's not going to risk taking 3. He drops Beetleform Mage. And for some reason, I don't, so he's going to wait on it. He should have pinged me for 1 there and then untapped and pinged me again. I draw my Pyrewild Shaman. I'm like, yes, okay. So he's not going to block with his Beetleform Mage because he doesn't have green mana, right? I forgot about Zertod Druid here. I guess I'm on a bit of a tilt because of the Supreme Verdict. So I swing with the Maka. Thinking I'm going to Pyrewild Shaman in, when he blocks with the Lava Crew, because he's thinking about that first, and then I can get rid of that stupid Lava Crew. But no, here he goes. Green, blue, hit me for 1. That's going to put me to 18. And then block with that stupid 4/4. So now I've got to throw my Pyrewild Shaman and lose both my creatures, and he loses just the one creature. Horrible 2-for-1. I've got no creatures in hand to start getting my Pyrewild Shaman back. It's the 3/1 that if you creature you control deals damage to an opponent, you can pay 3 mana to put it back in your hand. I wish I had that Lobber Crew. Anyway, so now I've got an empty board, nothing in hand, and he has Lobber Crew and Zertot Druid. Granted, the life totals are still in my favor pretty strongly, but it's only a matter of time because he keeps drawing gas. So he drops the 4/4 that detains my nothing. Whoops, I should ping you first, and then, yeah, sure, it's a fun game, so I let him back it up. He pings me for 1, and he pings me for another 1, so I'm down to 15. And he's got a 4/4 on the board, and I've got 0 presence. And then he swings with the Zertot Druid. I guess he could just hit me with that at the end of my turn. I don't know why he bothered swinging with it. Anyway, so I draw the Cyclops. At least it gives me a blocker. Pass the turn. He's going to cast Boros Charm. Does 4 damage to me. Untaps his Lobber Crew, which he notices now. And again, I let him do it. And takes me down to 9. So 5 damage there. Untaps. Plays a land. And here we go. White, white. Black, black. And 5. We've seen this before. Oh, and he does it for 6. So, Debt to the Deathless for 12, 13. Yeah, so I'm actually at -4, not -2. Anyway, draw some cards, trying to figure out. Mugging doesn't get me out of that situation. Island certainly is not going to help. What's that? The old Chemistry's Trick that I sideboarded into. I'm looking for my Explosive Impact here because I thought that was my only win condition there, but Chemistry's Trick probably wouldn't have worked either. Might have at least gotten this dude with 4/4 off the board and would have turned my Cyclops on. But anyway, so I lose this match. I'll try to get the rest of the videos posted. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and come to the store.